Hello everyone out there. Thank you for watching these videos I've been doing. This is part 2 of my tribute to that wonderful radio station, the Quake, KQAK, on the FM dial out of the Bay Area. I discovered this radio station when I was 14 in 1983, and it really changed how I found music and was looking for it. And I would like to know in the comments section how you found this radio station and what it did for you. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you might want to do so if you'd like to see what one person's collection is. Everything behind the camera here is all my Duran Duran bootlegs and official. We have all my new wave synth pop, and those videos are 13 on my channel. All the Duran Duran, there's 9 videos, and then a whole ton of stuff behind me of house music and trance. There's just a long way to go. So take a look at the channel and see what I have, and I'd like to hear from you in the comments. Go ahead and subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and let me hear from you. So thank you for watching. I want to thank all of my visitors and subscribers for watching. I appreciate it. So let's move on to the records. No more long introductions. We're on a roll here. And I already did this stack in part 1. That's all of these. So if you haven't seen part 1 yet, go ahead and take a look at the first and foremost that I remember recording on this radio station on my boombox and my cassette tape, and the record button with it on pause. That's all we had back then. There were no downloads. There were no file sharing. It was on the radio and you heard the DJ talking and you hit the pause button to record songs like this. Ready for this one? First one? The Cure, The Walk. This has such a nostalgic sound to it. There's nothing else that sounds like this, especially Robert Smith's voice. And it sounds like they're doing some kind of kazoos in the main part of the song, but you know the song, The Walk. And then we have Let's Go to Bed. Let me take your hand, I'm shaking like milk. Turning blue all over the windows and the floor. Let's go to bed. And so we have The Cure. The Cure's records on Discogs, really anywhere, are about as expensive as Depeche Mode and Echo and the Bunnymen. They're just not cheap. Talking Heads, all of it's very expensive. But I got that one for 25 bucks at a local store. So the group was Blondie. That was the name of the group. The singer, the front girl singer, was Debbie Harry. And she also did the first female rap song called Rapture. This little tiny petite blonde, Debbie Harry, did sort of the first rap song ever. It was after Rapper's Delight, and they did their own called Rapture. Well, she, on her own, did this one here from the Scarface movie, and it was in the club scene. I still got that light glare, I'm sorry. This one here is Rush, Rush, Get the Yayo, Run So Fast, Get the Yayo. I think it has to do with that hotel scene in Scarface, and it was Gigi, Get the Yayo. But Debbie Harry, Rush, Rush, from Scarface. San Fernando Valley. What do you think came out from that valley there, San Fernando Valley? Fast Times at Ridgemont High, the mall, all that down there. That slang talk like, oh my God, and totally. It was the Valley talk. And she came out with this with her father. I think she was only 13 when she made this song. And it's Valley girl, she's a Valley girl. Okay, fine, for sure, for sure. She's a, and like, oh my God, Valley girl. Look how sweet she is. In the video, she's wearing this dress and she's talking, and there's other girls in the background. What a great concept they did on this one here. Frank Zappa, you gotta hand it to him. He was out there as, I don't know, comical or genius. But it's Frank and Moon Zappa, Valley Girl. You want to know where all that I'm all and I'm like and I'm she's all and I'm just like and oh my God, that's where it all came from. This guy was really different in his own way too. And you got to hand it to him. He pulled it off with the pirate clothes. Came out with some great songs, sort of like desperate but not serious, and don't drink, don't smoke. What do? You don't drink, don't smoke. That was Goody Two Shoes. He came out with this one. I love the horns in this. And you just watch the video. Again, this is when MTV was at its best. Adamant, Strip. It's just borrowing from history. If I strip for you, will you strip for me? I really miss this kind of fun music. Way before this ridiculous COVID we got going right now. Nobody seems to be able to do anything anymore, but that's when we had clubs back then. And I think things were a lot simpler. Would you agree with me? Oh, by the way, I got my Eraserhead shirt on. You ever seen that movie? If you've never seen that movie, prepare yourself. If you have seen that movie, some see it as a joke. I haven't been the same since I've seen it. It's so bizarre. It's out there. David Lynch, one of my cult classic favorites. Howard Jones. And if you feel scared, I do, and I won't. What did you say? I don't remember what he says. I don't remember the lyrics of some of these songs, but Howard Jones. Things can only get better. I love the hair in the hat. There was so much of that back then, the hair in the hat. And if we threw it all the way, things can only get better. What a great song, too, with the horns in it. And I love this group right here. Ever since Don't You Want Me, that was, I think, Human League's third album. I got corrected on that. I thought Dare was their first album. Little do I know. But when they came out with Don't You Want Me, that's like the height of MTV, the start of MTV. And then they came out with this, Human League. Keep feeling fascination, fashion burning, love so strong. And I love the video with the two girls. They're just so cute. These two girls here. And they're just doing that 80s dance, back and forth, swinging their fingers. That was the 80s dance. That's all we had, that Molly Ringwald kind of dance. Hey, I get choked up when I talk about this stuff. It is a great collection of fantastic music back then. And I'm glad to own all these records. Oh, by the way, if you want to see another guy's record collection that's like mine, new wave, synthpop, and especially electro, go to on YouTube, Classic Jams. It's one word and with a K, Classic Jams. He's got a ton of videos. I mean, it's everything from Depeche Mode to Kraftwerk, New Order, and all that breakdance stuff. He's got a ton of stuff, so you want to check him out. I'll go ahead and link him up in my description field at the bottom. You can take a look at his videos. I'm not really into albums, LPs, just because I never had the time to just sit and listen to the whole thing. Unless it was Duran Duran's Rio, I will always listen to that entire thing. How about Dead or Alive, Youthquake, Depeche Mode, Some Great Reward. Sometimes an entire album is worth listening to. This one here, I showed in my first video, The One Thing, NXS. And then they have this other song in here, which is, Don't Change. Oh, beautiful sound to listen to on a very windy day, especially if you're driving a car on the highway with the top down. Don't change a thing for me. I don't know what happened with the singer. I don't know why the tragic event happened with him. You know, whatever's going on in people's lives, things just happen. But he is a voice that will be missed. And Ian Curtis of Joy Division, you guys are missed. Let's move on to Laid Back. The track on here that doesn't stand out for me, that's Sunshine Reggae. It's a reggae track, but we're talking about if you want to ride, don't ride the white horse. I think it's all about doing coke. If you want to be rich and don't ride the white horse. I think it's all about doing coke. But hey, back in the 80s, right? Great breakdancing song there. Then we got Peter Gabriel from Genesis. And he did this song too. I will never get tired of hearing this. Shock the Monkey. And I don't think it has anything to do with what they're doing to animals, sadly. What a great song this one too. Especially he really shows his voice and his range on this. Cover Me. You have to hear it. Great tune. So in The Wedding Singer, one of my favorite movies, because they really knew what they were doing when they were bringing back the 80s. It's supposed to be 1985 in that movie. And it's after the club scene when Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore are at the Jerkhead's car. Glenn, it was DeLorean. But in the club, you're hearing the song, and it's by the Psychedelic Furs. And it's this one. How fitting to put in that scene. Love my way. It's a new rule I follow when my eyes close. What a great song this is. Oh. This is like up there with the sounds, the Mighty Lemon Drops, Out of Hand. That's over in my collection. Or some of Echo and the Bunnymen. Anything by Psychedelic Furs, get. Moving forward, using all my breath, making love to you was never second best. I saw the world rushing around your face, never knowing it was always mesh and lace. And I stop the world, I melt with you. Modern English. What another happy song that's just pounding. And in the video, the singer's wearing a hat. He's got his ear pierced. And he's got that thick British accent. I think they're from England. I don't know. Sounds like it. Fantastic song. So I'm going to give a trivia on this one right here. I think I did this in one of my other videos. What is the biggest selling 12-inch song ever made? The most records ever sold as a 12-inch. I'll give you a hint. The record looks like a floppy disk. And I asked this on to Jillian Gilbert of New Order when I saw them at the Henry J. Kaiser Convention Center in Oakland after their performance. And they even gave me their dressing room towels. I'm sure I've disposed of those, or my mom did, but you know, who wants to keep somebody's towels? But I asked her when they were standing outside. I got to stand right in front of Bernard Albrecht and Jillian Gilbert. They were just standing outside. And I asked her, what does Blue Monday look like? And she said in her beautiful accent from England, it looks like a floppy disk. So I'm trying to think at that time, what does that look like? I didn't know anything then. Well, it's this right here. That looks like a giant floppy disk that you stick into a computer, and I think it held only megabytes. Couldn't put a whole lot on them, but they were just storage disks. Well, my friends, this is one of the biggest, it is the biggest selling 12-inch song ever. New Order's Blue Monday, also known as, if you hear the words, How Does It Feel to Treat Me Like You Do? I think everyone knows this, they just don't know what it is. This is a mashup of Donna Summer's Donna Summer's Our Love, the breakdown beat, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and Sylvester's You Make Me Feel Mighty Real, and then one other high energy track. You put those all together, and that's where they said, why don't we make a club track and we can have people playing ours? Look what they did. They made Blue Monday. How about that? And New Order went from Joy Division to making their own group, New Order, with the remaining members, and they brought in Jillian Gilbert. And they never seem to stop, do they? Sonny and Cher's And the Beat Goes On turned into this electro breakdance track, Orbit, and that is The Beat Goes On. It's the same words, but a great pop, lock-in, robot dancing kind of track here. I heard it on the Quake. Never heard it anywhere else. And in order to hear records, really, you had to be at the record stores, pulling them off the walls. Hey, that's when we had record stores. Everything went and sold out to downloads, and I think it kind of killed everything. But you had to go to clubs or record stores in order to hear this stuff. And, of course, the DJ would play it, and you wanted to know what it was. And he would say, that, my friend, was 1, 2, 3. You're just a runaway, running away. This is a Bobby Orlando production, kind of like Human League's Don't You Want Me? As far as the story, he's talking about helping somebody, but doesn't get the thanks that he was maybe hoping to get. It's a story. But the song is, 1, 2, 3, you're just a runaway, running away. I love the guy's voice who's saying that in the chorus. You're just a runaway, running away. And Bobby Orlando is also noted as Bobby O Productions. He created the Flirts with Linda Jo Rizzo, more of Italo disco that she does. But that change-up was quite different for that group, the Flirts. They did Helpless, You Took My Love, and Don't Put Another Dime in the Jukebox. I don't want to hear that song no more. So that's all Bobby O Productions. Okay, let's get into some dark wave, almost, how would you classify this? We're riding on the escalator of life. We're shopping in the human malls. We want it all. Hard-hitting, sort of a dark synth track. And this folds out to a poster. I'm not going to open it up. And I didn't know that until I saw in someone else's video, they opened it up and I thought, this is a poster? And it sure does. So look this one up if you don't know it. We're riding on the escalator of life. His voice is kind of deep, almost like Sisters of Mercy. Great tune. And then here's the other one. I think this is the one that's the poster, but it's the same song, Escalator of Life. So a friend asked me, which song or songs from this band should he get? And I said, why don't you just get the Greatest Hits album? This isn't called Greatest Hits. I think that's kind of worn out when you hear Greatest Hits. We're sort of past that boring label of a compilation. So these guys, and this guy's voice is, I guess you can call it just so beautiful. Under blue moon I saw you, so soon you take me under your arms, too late to beg you, or cancel it though, I know it must be the killing time. Songs to learn and sing. Echo and the Bunnymen's greatest songs, let's say. We've got Won't You Come On Down to My Rescue. We've got The Cutter, Never Stop, Silver, Seven Seas, Swimming Them So Well. These guys put in violins, string sections, and then you have Bring On the Dancing Horses, Headless and All Alone, Shiver and Say. And then you got The Killing Moon, Fate, Up Against Your Will. Get this, my friends. Just get it or download it, buy it. Get the CD, get the cassette. It's Echo and the Bunnymen, Songs to Learn and Sing. If you're going to buy an album, get this. And I know their big song too was Lips Like Sugar, Sugar Kisses. It's kind of overrated. It's a great song. We just hear, there's more from these guys, I'm saying, than just that. Okay. When I first heard this, I thought, okay, the 80s is getting really dorky, but you gotta love the song. We are animals, and it's the Europeans, the animal song, Odio, 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 Odio. The video is almost kind of sick. They're dressed up like some kind of lizard-looking pattern paint, smacking each other, and then paint pouring on their tongues. Hey man, it was the 80s. You know, we wore eye makeup and tied our ankle pants tight. And then it all just disappeared later. But hey, this is what I heard on the Quake. I'm showing you everything I heard on the Quake. The Europeans. The Animal Song. I just love this band right here. They still sound the same. And Tell Me Something Wrong, I know I listened too long, but then one thing leads to another. This song here is so good when it's loud. It's fast. He's in a tunnel, I think, in the video. And again, this is what was great about MTV, is seeing videos like this. So you got one thing leads to another. Tell me something wrong, I know I listened too long. And then they have another song here. And in the video, he's smearing paint all over himself. I don't quite know what they were going for. I don't know what I don't understand the concept, but maybe it's not supposed to be understood. Sort of like Hotel California by the Eagles. I don't think anybody really knows the meaning of that. Well, this isn't as deep as that song, but we have Maybe I Will Win, Saved by Zero. I'd like to touch on a minute for the sound effects that they're using. These slow turning sounds, the guitar work, that whoever's the guitarist for the fix, hey, kudos to you for what you did for your sounds. And even the synthesizers, the keyboards that you guys are using on all your songs, especially Stand or Fall, State Your Piece Tonight, and the sounds that come after that. But we have Maybe I Will Win, Saved by Zero. Good sound on that. My last one here, one of the most progressive synth-pop new wave bands ever, I'm going to go for more synth-pop rather, is they started with Speak and Spell, and this is a single off Speak and Spell. My favorite one is, though, Some Great Reward with Master and Servants. It's a lot like life, and you got People Are People. Oh gosh, Blasphemous Rumors. They came out with hit after hit after hit. Then you had Black Celebration, Question of Time on their later albums. it's Martin Gore. He's the brain behind all this songwriting and composing, and David Gann, his wonderful voice. By the way, before I show you this record, look up David Gann, Love Will Tear Us Apart. You want to see an amazing cover, and all the girls screaming, going, what? Whoa. Look up David Gann, Love Will Tear It Apart. He's all sweaty, throws his hair back, he grabs a microphone, and he pulls off a cover of Ian Curtis of Joy Division, Love Will Tear Us Apart. That's one of those moments where you're just thinking, this is the best place to ever be at this moment. Well, the last single I'm going to show you here is Just Can't Get Enough. I am so tired of the song, and I have had enough of hearing it. But the schizo version, yeah, the schizo mix, when the song fades out and just goes into the bass line riffs of the keyboard, and then the beat, and then it starts hitting with the snare. It almost is kind of creepy because in the background, the strings come in, and then they go back down, and then the strings come in, and they go back down. And when I heard this on the radio one time, I was catching the tail end. I didn't know what this was, and it took me a while to finally figure out it's the tail end of Just Can't Get Enough. So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, look up the schizo mix of Just Can't Get Enough and advance it towards the end, and you'll see what I mean. Only heard on the Quake. So thank you for watching my video here. That is part 2, and like I said, just go ahead and join up with the channel, and I'll keep getting videos out to you, and I'd like to hear from you in the comments. Thank you for putting up with me and sort of my emotions that go into all of this. We've all gone through a lot, especially if some of you are my age, 52, and you went through the 80s. Well, we've lost a lot of people, but we still have a lot too, especially ourselves. So thanks for watching.